This week on Fundamentals, we are talking House of the Dragon Season 2, D23 theories, Batman the Cape Crusader, and more. What's going on?
Yo,
Heyo, everybody.
glad to be
So,
back.
definitely. Light news this week, but a good collaboration and mixture. Not so Marvel heavy as it tends to be from time to time. But yeah, we got some great stuff to talk about. We got some great stuff we've watched, House of the Dragon, and
Some
some
other
things
stuff
were
that wasn't so great
unfortunate.
to
Yeah,
watch.
unfortunate that we watched.
Yeah,
And
man.
Batman Cape Crusader, man. Oh, I can't wait till we get on that subject. But kicking it off, let's kick it off with Marvel Media. All right, so next thing we have coming out in Marvel is going to be Agatha All Along. It is almost here. It's so close I can taste it. Oh my god! Like I know this is
Yeah.
a TV show, but like I'm as pumped for this as I probably would be another Marvel movie. 'Cause the trailers have just been phenomenal to me, and the darkness. I think they're going to do great with this. But yeah, that's going to be probably our last Marvel MCU. Let me rephrase that MCU project for the year.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they take it, what they do with it.
mm,
Obviously, like it's on Disney Plus, so I'm excited to watch it. I'm less excited that it comes out like weekly after the first two
mm,
episodes, but
yeah.
I'm here for it still. I'm still excited to watch it.
I'm a very impatient person, so I love it when they drop a whole season at once. Like, oh
Um,
my god, there's nothing. I get why they do it, and it makes sense business wise. But my god, it gets so frustrating when you have to wait week to week for an episode.
Yeah.
man, kills me inside, bro. Especially if we find out that Agatha's TV show is going to be fire.
Oh my
Yeah.
Like,
god, yes,
damn it.
it makes it that much harder to wait a week when it's that good.
It's like, come on, man. I mean, you guys are in here cooking up something delicious right now.
Right, right.
I hate
Uh,
cliffhangers.
Yeah.
and then next we have Craven, which is going to come out December 13th. Got pushed back from August, I think, to October to now December. And whew, I'm nervous for this one. Nervous for this one because we know Sony's reputation when they're putting stuff together solo with not the help of Papa Feige. So,
Yeah.
oh
Are you also nervous because it keeps getting pushed back? Are you like, are they sure they're coming out with it in December?
well, let's be real. I'm not real sure that Sony's ever sure about anything.
Yeah.
And after the last piece they gave us, with the Madam Web, man, and then we have like the Craven from this latest Spider-Man game. It's so amazing,
Oh my
so
God, yeah.
awesome,
Yes.
Mhm.
so awesome. And now that's really the Craven I want on live action, and I know that's not the Craven we're going to get. So I don't know.
Did
Ugh.
they actually change the name of the movie? Did they take the hunter out? Because rumor has it he's not a hunter at all.
It wouldn't surprise me. So I'm seeing mixed artwork where it says Craven the Hunter, and I'm seeing somewhere it just says Craven. Because if I'm not mistaken, from what we know about him, he's the opposite of kind of what his character is in the comics and what we're used to. Correct? I mean, he's like
Yeah,
a green eco-friendly guy now.
like Craven, the animal rights activist. That's what we
Right?
call
Right?
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sony version.
First of all, there's nothing wrong with being an animal activist.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. But when you have a character such as his that
Yeah.
is so particular about what it does
Killing
Yeah,
it.
because
and what he
like,
wears.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
he kills a lot
absolutely.
of creatures.
I
I'm,
mean,
I'm
on
gonna laugh.
IMDb, it still does show that it is Craven the Hunter
Does
at
it?
this moment in time.
Okay.
He
Oof.
hunts after the people that goes after the animals. So, because hunting after peoples is okay.
If they're bad, only if they're
Right?
bad.
Right. I
He's
mean,
the hero in
just
this
ask
movie.
Dexter; he will tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
But I'm gonna laugh so hard if it's one of those things where he does have like some kind of fur looking thing on, and he ends up being some save the animal guy, and they end up, oh, you're wearing fur. It's faux fur. So
Man.
The animal was already dead. So, like, I was just repurposing the animal to make sure it was useful.
This was made
Yeah.
out of a ball toupee. That's where I got this texture from.
Human hair.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
actually came from Locks of Love.
Yeah.
do you wash it? Do you hand wash it? Do you
Uh,
take it to a cleaners? I have so many questions now.
You
It's
can
10
change
years
the look.
worth of
You can change the
armpit hair.
you can change the looks of the way it looks. You can straighten it sometimes and curl it, whatever you want to do.
Ooh.
Put a perm in that thing.
Oh man, but let's see. Next on the list, Deadpool Wolverine has caused NSYNC's "Bye Bye Bye" to rise back to the top 20 on Spotify. These guys have to be eating up what
Yeah.
this movie has done for them. Sean Levy, there's a post made about them on Instagram, I believe, and it was talking about it's in the top 20 on Spotify. It's now in the top 40 on iTunes. And Sean Levy made a post and shared it, and he said, our work is done here."
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Didn't they
Man,
also like rebrand the music video to say like
Yes.
it's Deadpool and Wolverine or something like that in like parentheses after bye bye bye?
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, I think it might be their YouTube channel, maybe, or some channel of theirs where instead of just saying "bye bye bye" in sync, it now says "bye bye bye" in parentheses. It says Deadpool Wolverine movie, and then it says in sync. So yeah, they've even edited that now.
Yeah.
oh my
But
god.
like, and like, it's going viral. I mean, all over TikTok, everybody's doing the dances. Oh, I did find out 100%. Ryan Reynolds says he would love to take credit for knowing how to do that dance or any of that, but 100% it was not him. Yep.
Somebody else in a suit.
Yep. So it was a guy they got a hold of. I believe his name was Nick Polly, and actually, so I watched a video. Actually, I think it was or his TikTok, and it was like home videos of him practicing it in his home. He literally got a message sent to him by his agent, and was like, "Hey." Because he's a professional dancer or whatever, and it said that, "Hey, I need you to start practicing Bye 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 by NSYNC. I have a very, very important role for you, but I cannot disclose what it is." And they
Oh,
didn't tell him why he needed to learn it until like I think the day of him suiting up and them filming it. Can
that's
you imagine being told that, and then like the day of, after like a couple of months of learning it or whatever, or a month, however long it took, and then find out, oh, put on this Deadpool suit because you're gonna be the big and huge intro of the movie.
You're gonna be Ryan Reynolds' body double.
Right.
I'd be
Man.
fanboying. I'd be like, oh my god.
I would have pissed myself right there on the set. Like, are you lying? You're lying.
Right.
Is he the same dimensions as Ryan Reynolds, or is there like a whole different suit just for him?
I don't know. I think they're pretty close to the same build.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it's enough that we couldn't tell. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, but like looking at him normally, Ryan may have a little bit more muscle on him. Maybe I have to look back now. I don't
Hmm.
forgot, but I think they're pretty close to the same build.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds. That motherfucker could have learned the choreography for that, bro. Why'd you let somebody else do that for you,
Yeah.
He
bro?
could've-
Hey,
but
at
he's
least he's not
also-
taking credit though, like where
Yeah.
giving it where it's due. So that's important.
And he
Man.
was taping like If during that same time. I mean, like he had a lot of different things,
That's true.
that was happening. So
Shit,
Yeah.
I would have made time for that. You like, I can learn the bye 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 dance routine. Let's go.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, even though Ryan Reynolds is very well with doing his body motions, was wearing a mask, and like his body motions is what kind of reads a lot of who he is in the movie. But like, I don't know if he could have nailed it as good as a guy who professionally dances. I mean, the dude's moves was pretty sick. I mean, it was legit.
Yeah. Yeah, they were smooth.
He nailed the music video hands down.
Yeah.
Granted, NSYNC was kind of basic with their dance moves when at the time
Yeah.
the music video came out.
This is true.
If Ryan Reynolds would have put just a little bit of effort in, I would have gave him an E for effort and been like, "Yo, do that again, Ryan."
Also, speaking of Deadpool Wolverine, as much as I want to keep talking about it, I only got one more thing on here. But man, money wise, it is bringing in the money. It is currently brought in over 820 million as of I think yesterday. So yeah, it's already in the top 10. Or I know it's not in the top 10 yet, like of all times. But by the time the way it's going, we're just 2 weeks in now.
Yeah.
It's almost already in the top 10 of movies that have been out for 2.5 months.
Mhm.
That have top the charts. So
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, there's so many news articles saying that it's still breaking bank in like the movie theaters. Like, I mean, compared to what we have like coming out, which we'll talk about in a bit, you know,
Right.
what would I want to watch more?
I really want to see it bump Avatar from number 1. I want to see it bump Endgame and Avatar. So Avatar was number 2, but then Avatar re-released just because it was petty, you know, wanting to bump Endgame because James Cameron was so pissed about it, and I think like it's not much. Like Endgame and Avatar is within, I think, just like a couple million or 20 million. I don't know, whatever it is. I think it's a couple million. It's not much. It like just barely bumped it, and then they took it out of theaters just so they could hold the record. I would love to see this bump Avatar down.
Man, that'd be well deserved.
I mean, let's be honest. This movie is way better than Avatar. I love Avatar. Like I do love the first Avatar. The second one, not so much. But anyways, won't get into that. But yeah, the first one I love, but I would still love to see it bump it because I feel like definitely deserves it.
Yeah, if not of all time, at least for the MCU's track record,
Right.
top 10.
But yeah, I'm anxious to see before or at the end of its showing in theaters what it's going to do. I'm super static. But all right, well, I guess that's it for Marvel this week. Light news. So let's jump into discussing DC.
All right. So first on our DC docket, we have Batman: The Caped Crusader. So that it just came out on August 1st. It's only a couple of days old. All 10 episodes dropped at once, and let me tell you what, it has been a blast to watch.
Oh my god.
What are your guys' thoughts? I know that it's been renewed for a season 2 already, which I'm happy for. But what are your guys' thoughts on this?
Deontay, I'll let you lead the way with this one.
Oh man, Cape Crusader was a great investment with Prime Video. I am so happy for them. This is a major all-star produced project. You got Matt Reeves, which is the boss of the Patterson universe right now, and then you have J.J. Abrams, which is like a legendary director, all bankrolling this TV series. So you kind of see like some of Matt's vision in the story, what he wants to do with each and every single one of these different characters. And I still to this day don't know who the cast of voice actors are, but I still like the direction that they headed with each and every character. Each episode, we got to meet somebody from like the old school Batman Rogues Gallery, and then we got some of the new school guys too. So we got a good mixture of that. A brand new perspective on who they are. We're living in like the 60s time area, and I can't complain about anything that I've seen so far. You have the first Asian American Harley Quinn, gender swap Penguin, Firebug is back, and then you got to meet Natalia Knight, another one of classic Batman villains. So they treated them right. So shout out to the writers for that.
Oh
and you
yeah.
also got to see Gentleman Ghost, which I had never seen before. I had to like do some research on like who that was because I was like, I have no idea what's going on here. But as soon as I saw the first episode, I was hooked because of Oswalda, who's voiced by Minnie Driver. And I love Minnie Driver. The first time I've ever seen her was in Ella Enchanted when I was a kid, and I was just like, she sings again? Yes, please. So I loved it. Catwoman, is Christina Ricci as well. So
Yep.
yeah.
Man, all-star cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some very familiar casts. I can't remember some more that was in there, but there's some very familiar like voice.
I'm about to go ahead and Google this right now.
Man, I love it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I grew up. My first love for Batman was the '90s animated series, and I love it. It reminds me so much of that, and it's so grounded. Like, I love how they took this take on like Clayface and
Mhm.
these other characters who could be pretty out there, not such a grounded villain, and they grounded them. But the way they grounded them, it worked. And
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna lie, Deontay was talking about it, and I can actually see them doing a live action Clayface in the Matt Reeves universe if they do a similar take on this.
Mhm.
Because
Absolutely.
it wouldn't have to be this giant CGI glob, of a monster. It could actually be this guy who can, shift and shape his face, and uh, I mean, I don't know all of it. I mean, Harley Quinn, all of these characters, even the Ghost one, even though it was like supernatural, it was still very much grounded.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna lie, when the Ghost one came on, did what Gentleman Ghost,
Yeah.
uh, I was like, okay, how is this guy taking up the money? And like, I'm trying over here to figure out like how somebody's manipulating this, and come to find out, nobody was manipulating nothing. It was legit. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, wow, okay, not what I expected, but I I really hope with Matt Reeves being involved in this might give us, doesn't have to be obviously identical or nothing like this, but a slight glimpse maybe of what he can do with these characters and have his hand on these characters, and we get to see these live action in his universe as it builds and builds and builds. Because I'm here for it. Like, I am here for it. It felt so nostalgic. Like, a lot of people are kind of, giving it backlash with the gender swap for the penguin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it didn't bother me at all, and I felt like it was done fine. I mean, it didn't. I love that episode just as much as I did any of the other episodes.
Mhm.
Uh, and I don't know, it didn't change the narrative of the story or the core values of who Batman is. It's so like, quit bitching. That's all I gotta say. Like,
Please.
for
Yeah.
real, it worked. So let them do their change ups on different things like that. But it just made me feel so much like I was back a kid again watching one of my favorite animated series, and it was done so well. And I feel like Gunn, or maybe he didn't have a say so in it, but I feel like he really messed up by not letting us be a part of his new regime, or whatever you want to call it, in the new DC studios, because this was solid. This is so solid, and I know it's already been greenlit for season 2. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the list of the cast right here, and I can admit that I'm not sure who the hell is playing Batman and Bruce Wayne. His name's right here.
yeah,
Hamish Linklater.
yeah. I'm not familiar with him.
That for some reason it works. His voice acting does work for this character, but when you look at a
Right.
photo of him, it's just like that is the least Batman I've ever seen. It's like, damn, that was a risky casting choice, but that worked out.
It's all about the
Um,
voice with them, not the face.
for real.
I
Like,
really like how they portrayed like Harvey Dent in this,
oh
Oh, yeah.
because like from the only thing that I had seen, like I have seen a couple of the the animated 90s
Mhm.
TV series. Like I saw a couple of those episodes with Two Face, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I get that, but he was already Two Face at the time. And then the only time that I had seen it go from Harvey Dent to Two Face was in Dark Knight.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Mhm.
in Batman. So seeing Aaron Eckhart, I think his name,
Mhm.
played that, he did really well in the role. But like this was completely different in my mind, because like you can kind of already see that like Harvey Dent was like having kind of like that struggle with like what's good and what's right
Beforehand.
and wrong. But beforehand, yeah,
Right.
before he became Two Face, and then to see him like kind of have that like split personality happening, I was just like, this is
Mhm.
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Actually, I like that portrayal better, and it makes more sense for him as a turning villain
Hmm.
than actually him being Gotham's White Knight. And don't get me wrong, I like Aaron Eckhart's like portrayal in that story, but it never really made me think about this more in depth until I watched this. And I'm like, this makes more sense for Two Face becoming a villain than that happened to Two Face, and he's pissed because he lost the love of his life, and then immediately he's this god awful villain. Like, it's just kind of like it helped him go over the edge, that he already struggled with. And yeah, and once again, very grounded. I mean, the way they did it, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, the way they did it with the dark, or with Christopher Nolan's version, it was grounded, and I feel like these would have the similar looks, except he was more burned up face or whatever, and this was more of
Yeah.
acid. But
Hmm.
once again grounded, and like I would love to see kind of this version of Harvey Dent in Matt Reeves' version of Batman. I want to see these characters for real, and
Yeah,
like the
he's
way that they're probably take on Harley Quinn too, like put that version of Harley Quinn and Matt Reeves' Batman too, like the way she's manipulating all these people, and she's kind of that on the fence person too. She thinks she's doing good even though she's not doing good. She thinks she's a Robin Hood when she's not really a Robin Hood type person. I don't know, like I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, these are all great performances from this cast. Diedrich Bader played Harvey Dent.
Yep.
Like Taylor mentioned earlier, Minnie Driver is Cobblepot. Christina Ricci is Catwoman. You have Jamie Chung who plays Harley Quinn. So it's the first ever animated Asian Harley Quinn to ever hit our screen. Then we got guys like Tom Kenny who plays Firebug. Haley Joel Osment is in here, and Gary Anthony Williams as well. Their characters are not listed, but all heavy hitters.
Oh yeah. I
Money
mean,
well
Firebug.
spent.
That's Tom Kenny. That's the voice of SpongeBob, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy plays SpongeBob's voice plays Firebug.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Kenny, he's like a huge part of our childhood. He's up there with Mark Hamill with all the roles he's played.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've loved this though, for real. Like, oh my god, it's solid. It's so solid. It's great. Now
I
I'm
love how they
actually
ended it too with like
yes, a teaser with a
the teaser.
teaser.
Yes,
With
I
guess
forgot
who?
about that.
Yeah, so you see like all of the faces, and you're just like
Immediately, I started grinning. As soon as the faces, you see the people grinning, I started grinning. I'm like, oh yes, yes,
I was so upset it was the last episode.
yes.
Do y'all want to spoil that? Because we totally can.
Yeah, let's spoil it. Go ahead, like, feel free.
Dude, Joker with a brand new look.
Yes.
What do y'all think about this version of Joker?
I don't know. So they kind of tease us a little bit. We don't get to see it too much. Obviously, I think we're going to get the similar white makeup. But I'm really curious to see their full portrayal of this character. Well, that's one thing that just like topped off this series for me was it was so solid. It was so good. You know, it took place in the 30s, which I love that era. And it made you feel like the 90s version. But then on top of it being solid, something fresh for us to watch, then they give us a teaser, which I did not expect. I did not expect like a big teaser at the end of an animated series like this.
Yeah.
And to me, that was just like the cherry on top for the season. Like, phenomenal. I want to hear more of this guy's laugh too, because every Joker we all know, no matter voice actors, there's always a differentiation in everybody's portrayal of the Joker.
Yeah.
We get a little laugh of him, but I don't think we got a full taste of what his laugh is going to be. So
Yeah, not yet.
This version of Joker is long black hair and he's kind of buff. So this is kind of terrifying already out the gate. So like, damn, what kind of Joker is this? And why has Batman got his hands full with him now?
Clearly he's experimenting, with that like laughing serum, and like to know that he's doing that, and like in my brain I'm like now wondering, are they going to do it like the 80s Batman with God damn it, what is his name? I cannot remember.
Jack Nicholson.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Where like he has that like blimp, and then he has like the laughing gas is like coming off of it. So immediately my brain was like, are they going to redo that? But regardless, like I'm always a fan of the Joker because my husband like loves the Joker. It was like one of the first posters that we ever had in our house was a picture of the Joker.
Nice.
And so like I'm curious. He came in as I was finishing up the episode, and he was just like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Another new Joker.
Yes. But I definitely do think that the laugh will make or break him.
Oh yeah, for sure. I hope they don't go too terribly off brand with the laugh. Yeah. They can go off brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm ready. I don't know when they're going to drop season 2, but I hope they are hope they're getting their stuff in gear and working on it as quick as possible. Because yes, I'm super happy. I think Amazon's gonna make good money off this. I mean, honestly, and this is something that they could probably run for a long time. I mean, they could probably run this for eight seasons if they wanted to, and do completely fine with it.
I don't know if you guys saw, but it actually knocked off The Boys off of like where it's ranked,
Really?
like how many people have watched it. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
Damn.
wow,
yeah.
wow. Yeah, and The Boys has a pretty good viewership.
Mm-hmm.
See, the
Wow.
boys had like backlash too at the beginning of the season, but the backlash for the boys stopped.
Yeah, I
There's
did.
still ongoing backlash for Batman Cape Crusader because a lot of people actually do hate this series, which is unfortunate for them
I
because they're
don't get
idiots.
that.
Yeah, and bad taste in TV shows apparently. But uh, they got greenlit for season 2, so in their face, fuck them.
Give me Mr. Freeze. I want a Mr.
Oh my
Freeze.
god.
So I will say that. So since we are so light in Marvel stuff this year, it's forcing me to dive deeper into DC, and
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing. It's kind of nice to I'm jumping into deeper DC animated stuff. So I'm actually watching the Crisis on Infinite Earths. I've already watched part 1, and I've started part 2. So, but yeah, it's
You ever seen
interesting.
the Flashpoint paradox?
I feel like I've seen part of it. That's another one I started a while back, but then I fell asleep on it and just never went back. So, yep.
Yeah, they're incredible movies, and they have some good animated TV shows like Young Justice. Oh my god,
Young
you can
Justice
find them
pretty
all
good.
on Max.
Oh,
Yeah,
I have Max, so like
yeah.
that's what I'm doing right now. Honestly, I'm kind of filling my this void, my this hole in my heart that I have, uh, with some DC animated until I guess it comes out. So
Hell yeah.
I
Yeah.
may
So
go see Deadpool and Wolverine a fourth time before it leaves theaters, but
it's nothing wrong with that. But we do have some other DC news. So we are going to be talking a little bit about the Batman Brave and the Bold.
mm,
Now, like as far as I know, there hasn't been like a trailer or anything like released about that really.
mm-mm.
But there are like a top 5 contenders of who we think is going to play Batman. Now, this is going to be a live action. But what do you guys think? Like, who do you think out of these 5, or if you have another idea, like would be a better Batman?
I don't know. I know Jensen Ackles really wants it. Like
And that's who I want to play it.
he really wants it, and out of those 5, if I had to pick from those 5, I would probably pick Jensen Ackles.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see his take on a different Batman we've not seen before, and I think he could
See.
be a guy that could give us. I think he could give us a really good Bruce Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
but then give us a different version of Batman we've never seen before, but that we would welcome with open arms. I think. And
I
I
don't think he would
and I wouldn't
be.
have said that if it wasn't how stuff we've already seen him as Soldier Boy and
Yeah,
stuff on the boys, but I think he can bring it. I do.
I don't think he
Yeah.
would be as like brooding as like Robert Pattinson
Right.
Batman.
Hmm.
But I do think because we've seen him as Soldier Boy in the boys, like I think that would be like a good fit. Now, however, we do have that spin-off that's a prequel that we talked about in our last episode of the boys, where Soldier Boy is going to be in it, and it's going to be his storyline. So, like, does he have time for like filming this live
Right.
action?
That's
Right.
true.
The United States is like completely split down the middle. Like half of us want Jensen, the other half of us is just like we'll take whoever looks it. And I'm probably one of the few that's like Alan Richardson could definitely be my new bats. I'm also open to who's the guy at Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell. So I'm open to those two taking on the mantle as bats.
See,
I like as
go
far
ahead.
as like Brave and the Bold goes,
Hmm.
he's going to be a dad. So Damian Wayne is going to be his Robin.
That's right.
So you need somebody with like a experience in father figuring in
You're right.
movies. So I like those two.
I think so. What I struggle with Glenn Powell is I can see him pulling off a good version of Bruce Wayne. I just don't know if I could see him and his beady little eyes and a bat mask though.
Man,
Because like it would almost be like and I'm not trying to like give. I like Glenn Powell, I do, but like if you think about have that black makeup on the black cow, and his eyes are already kind of smaller, it'd be like, where's his eyes at? Because it would be all black, and
That'd
so
be a
like,
little bit even more terrifying, honestly. Like,
well, I didn't think about that. You're right.
yeah,
Yeah, it could be.
it's like that's a terrifying
And
Batman.
Alan Richardson, like I can't imagine seeing that big ass dude in a big old suit. That'd be a scary Batman. Like that'd be a
Yeah,
Batman that I would not ever want to go up against, no matter if it was, prep. He had plenty of prep time, plot armor, whatever. But I can't picture him though as Bruce Wayne. Like I like him, but I think there's only certain roles that he can do. Like his Jack Reacher, I love his Jack Reacher. Uh, but I don't feel like I don't know. And maybe we just haven't seen him have the chance for an acting, to do something like Bruce Wayne or something like that. But I feel like he's a little rougher around the edges on portrayal of different things to be a Bruce Wayne. I don't know.
yeah. Glenn Powell is more Bruce Wayne than Alan is, but Alan's
Hmm.
more Bats than
Yes.
Glenn is. So,
Yes, 100%.
So I actually have a quick question. The guy that played in Trap, the main guy character.
Oh, Josh Hartnett.
yeah.
Yes. Like,
Mhm.
what do you think of him as Batman?
So I don't think he'd be a good one, but it's hilarious you say this. So as we get out of the movie today, Deontay's like, I'd like to see him as a DC or Marvel villain role. He's like,
yeah.
I would like to see him pull off some kind of villain role, definitely not the same portrayal like he did in Trap, but like,
Yeah.
like I really think he could be a good villain, and I never thought about that honestly until he said that, and I was like, I could definitely see him as a comic book villain.
I actually saw an article today saying that he was in his dad era. So when you were saying that this Batman is going to be like a dad type role, that immediately made me think of like maybe he could do it. Like I could see him as the Batman,
Mm-hmm.
like get up, but like as Bruce Wayne, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, it's tricky because he played a decent dad in Trap. That was about the best he did with his performance. And I won't even blame him for that. I blame the screenwriters for that. But
Yeah.
He's a great actor. I mean, like,
yeah,
and Pearl Harbor, Black Hawk Down, I love him in both those movies.
hmm
yeah, he's such a classic Hollywood star.
Oh, and Penny Dreadful. He's in Penny Dreadful, which is really good.
Yeah, he just strikes me as somebody that could be our live action Harvey Dent or live action
Okay.
Deadshot.
I would like to see him as a Harvey Dent, actually.
Yeah, he looks it too. He looks just like comic book him. So
What about the
Ah.
Riddler?
Uh,
No, you don't like
I-
that. Okay,
I
that's fine.
I just
no
I
more
just feel like,
psycho roles.
yeah, I feel like he needs to work on his psycho roles. But
Mhm.
yeah, and we'll get to that later. But
Yeah. But that's
can
all
be
I
a
had
toxic.
for
Yeah, he can be a toxic attorney. We have seen that with him before. So
oh, for sure.
But that's all I
Oh,
have for DC. You guys ready to go into some Star Wars?
let's slice it up. I love that.
yeah, it gets me excited every time. Our favorite, well, I wouldn't say our top favorite franchise, but definitely one of the
Top.
big
Yeah.
daddies. Star Wars has a new update from Skeleton Crew.
Hmm.
I hold on a second. Let's make sure I get my facts straight. The Skeleton Crew's release date, I believe,
December 3rd.
December 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
was just recently announced.
Yeah. I was super excited for this, but like at the same time, after the Alkalite, I'm nervous for this.
Yeah,
And then we got that that new picture, and then we see this like miniature Dumbo alien, and I don't know, guy.
yeah. I love Star Wars, but I'm not that crazy about it that I have to just watch all of these shows.
Oh, I do. I will.
Hmm.
I will have doubts to the high end, but I'm gonna watch every single one. I'll refuse to miss one. But man, I don't. I really hope this is good. Like when this first came out, they talked about this being Jude Law in it. It's about a ragtag band of misfit kids. Didn't really give a whole lot of detail. And then like seeing that picture, it looks super kiddified. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just that one alien, and that's what I'm reading off that. I'm reading off of it completely wrong, but I hope it's good. I hope it's good. God, I hope it's good. Uh, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I do love Jude Law, though. Jude Law is a phenomenal actor.
Yes.
So
that's the only part of it that I'm excited for.
Yeah, and like I'm hoping Jude Law like read the script and really thought hard about it. And was like, okay, this is a script I want to be a part of, and that's why he accepted it, and not one of those like, oh yeah, I just want to be in Star Wars. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it's strong. But
I don't know, man.
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is a tough call.
It being in December, we're going to find out if it's a gift from Santa or a lump of coal in our stocking. That's all I got to say. So
the good thing is at the beginning of December, and then after that we can go watch Craven.
And we only need one lump of coal in December, not two. So one of these need to be good.
Yeah, all three of us have been good this year. Damn it!
Exactly. Oh my god! But yeah, and that's really about it for Star Wars this week, isn't it?
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, so let's jump into the Educated Wish Entertainment. I do too.
It's growing on me now.
We're bringing the Matrix back.
Yeah. Our first set of news for entertainment, or excuse me, Educated Wish Entertainment. John Wick is under the high table. It has a spinoff, right? TV series that's probably going to come to Max pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't know about pretty soon. It just got announced today. And it follows after John Wick 4, but not interfering with the John Wick 5 that is in production. But it is a TV series that will be coming to Max, hopefully, because that's where Constantine is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But we don't really know much else about it other than the fact it's a thing.
Pretty much got greenlit is what it is. It got greenlit, and that's all the details there is on it. But
yeah.
As big a fan base as there is out there for John Wick fans, I'm sure nobody's complaining. So
right,
long as they do it right.
Dude.
Do you think like John Wick has just become the new Transformers, where people just watch it to watch it like get fucked up?
Yeah. Exactly.
Probably.
It's very gratuitous for us.
Yep. So I'll be straight honest with you, and I get shamed for saying this. I've not even watched all the movies yet.
I haven't even started the first one.
I haven't.
Okay.
I've watched the first and the second, and that's all I've seen. And I've seen part of that spin-off series that's already on Max.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they had it's not Constantine. It's the Continental. That's on Max. And 1 was good. 2, it's a sequel, so like it's still pretty good. 3 was good as well. But then once you get to 4, the Keanu Reeves is older, so the action moves that are done isn't great. So just prepare yourself when you watch that.
Not as a smooth flow.
Yeah, no, it's not. It literally looks like it's choreographed, which is not what you want your action movie to look like.
Right.
So like there's like a part, right, where like they're fighting and it looks like one guy is like waiting for him to get done fighting with this guy before he comes in, and then he like throws him against a drum, and I'm like, okay.
You're taking it back to the Power Rangers era.
Yeah, so it wasn't great in my mind. I do love John Wick still, though, so I will be watching this series whenever it does start getting taped. I do look forward to seeing what comes out of it and getting to see a trailer. But yeah, John Wick.
So on to our next news. We have J.J. Abrams in negotiations of secret project to star Jenna Ortega and Glenn Powell.
Like, can't get enough Glenn Powell these days.
No, absolutely not.
Everybody is putting him in everything.
Yeah,
He's
they're
like
getting
Pedro Pascal at this point.
Yeah.
real.
So nobody knows what the secret project is. The rumor is it's going to be another entry into the Cloverfield franchise.
I can rock with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually like the first Cloverfield was with John Goodman, right?
Oh, second one.
Second one?
Yeah.
Okay. So like Cloverfield's kind of hit and miss for me, but I would like to see a more current, maybe new adaptation or new entry into the franchise to see what they can do on their take on it. Uh, I felt like it had potential to be something pretty great. It just had a few things that needed to be changed. It should have went maybe a little bit differently on it. So I'm here for it. And I think that they're taking the chance of throwing two of the hottest actors right now, Jenna Ortega and Glenn Powell, both of them. It seems like they're putting both of these actors in a lot of things. They're highly sought after and wanted. So, they're increasing their chance of success, regardless of what this
Right.
entry is going to be, whether it be Cloverfield or if it's something else. But I kind of want it to be Cloverfield. I kind of don't want it to be something else. I want to do that and see what they can do. I you can't get enough aliens, so I, I love it. I
That's
love
true.
all alien shit.
Has J.J. Abrams ever actually done like a scary movie?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I don't
So
think he had. Well, World of Worlds can be considered.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
no, that's Steven Spielberg.
It-
World of Worlds.
sorry, I just
No, you're
a
good.
zinger in there. I was just like,
J.J. Abrams has done Star Trek, Star Wars, Lost, Super 8, Cloverfield, The Fringe, Alias, Mission Impossible. I'm not seeing any horror really on here.
Yeah, Super 8 is about as close as he's gotten to horror.
Yeah, that's another alien movie too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually, and it's like people really get destroyed in this movie too.
Yeah.
God.
Is that the one with the kids and like the old school film video?
Yeah,
I
they
think
got the old school Air Force too. I was like, damn, I
yeah.
was the last person to wear that uniform too. They retired it.
oh, the BDUs.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Oh,
J.J. Abrams
shit.
did. I didn't realize J.J. Abrams did Armageddon.
The remake or
The only one I know of with Bruce Willis from back.
cool, the original? Yeah.
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 They remade that.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen it
Oh, okay.
because I refuse to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's a timeless movie with a great cast that will always hold a place on my movie shelf. So.
Absolutely. That is peak 90s movies too.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that came out like 98, 99, I think.
Yeah, it was like right on the cusp of Y2K.
Mm-hmm. Yep. J.J. Abrams is pretty good though. And like I don't know how a lot of people feel about it, but I never was a huge Star Trek fan. But I actually enjoyed his Star Trek movies with Chris Pine.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I like those. It actually did get me into Star Trek. I never watched like the ones with Patrick Stewart, so you could say shame on me, but
yeah, I'm sure we're gonna catch a lot of slack for both of us saying this right now.
All three of us are out in Star
Trek.
Okay.
But there is a new series for Star Trek that was announced at San Diego Comic-Con, though, so maybe that'll pique our interest because apparently it's supposed to be dark and broody. So we'll see.
I like dark and broody, so
yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Our next piece of news is Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista is working on a buddy cop movie called The Wrecking Crew.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen them two paired up in anything, but I'm not gonna lie. I think I love Dave Bautista as Drax, and I like Jason Momoa, but not as I like him in Aquaman 1, but not Aquaman 2. Let's just say that. And I wasn't a big fan of his.
There was an Aquaman 2?
God damn.
No, that one I unfortunately did watch.
That was rough. But I think them two together would be hilarious. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I think that it would be a great action comedy. Uh,
mhm.
God, yeah. So he kind of compared all like. There's not a whole lot of news out about that either. It just kind of is pretty much in the negotiations and works of it as well. But he did say it's going to be a Lethal Weapon style type movie, buddy cop movie. And I love the Lethal
Yes.
Weapon movies.
I love it.
Yes.
That's
Mel
gonna be
Gibson and Danny
hilarious.
Glover together are phenomenal. So
Yes.
if they can even reach the 50% mark as them two duo, oh my god, I'll be here for it.
And I don't know if it's going to be a serious movie or a comedy movie, but if it's like a splash of
It's
both,
comedy, but it's supposed to be like a comedy action.
Okay.
yeah, his hair is way too luxurious for me to ever believe he's a cop. Like, you are not a cop, Jason. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Oh, I forgot. I did read on this that so Dave Bautista is supposed to be like a real strict ex Navy SEAL cop, and then Jason Momoa is the opposite. He's like a party kind of blurs the edges of what's right and what's wrong cop. That's
Good.
completely not straightforward. So they're playing opposites, but they get paired up together.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Yes.
He goes on undercover missions and actually does coke. That is definitely Jason as a cop.
I can see
to the
Jason.
max. The only way this movie will work is if it's raunchy comedy on top of their serious police stuff.
Right. I'm here for it though. I think it would work great. So I hope everything works out where like this definitely gets in production soon and they get rolling with it.
Do they have a producer or anything attached to this yet? Or
I'm not sure. I can't remember what I read on that if they did or not.
okay.
I'll produce it if I have to. Yep, our last piece of news for Educated Wish Entertainment is Inside Out 2 is doing extremely well, bringing in $626.9 million so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of like the top 10 movies of all times of movie cinema history, it's been out for 2 months now, I believe. And it's like at number 8 in the top 10 ever. Yeah.
It's a good movie. Like for even for like an adult, because like I watched it. I went to the movie theater and actually watched it. Made the mistake of doing that during summertime because there's kids all the time. But
So could you hear the movie or could you hear a bunch of other little kids talking through
no,
it all?
I definitely did hear the movie, but I definitely did hear kids at the same time. But it made me get in my feels. Like I don't know if you guys have seen Inside Out, like the
Yeah, I've seen the
number
first one. I love that one.
Yeah, so you know how like the emotions actually make you feel like something. This one, Riley is like in her teenage years, so she definitely does get more emotions as teenage girls do. And the one that really spoke to me the most was the anxiety. You know, because like we all deal with it. So to actually have like something that was like you see it and you're like, yeah, that's actually how I'm feeling, and you can put like words to like how you're feeling. I think it's like a great kids movie, especially with kids who are figuring out like how they're feeling. But great movie.
Huh. Yeah, I've been meaning to go to theater to see it because the first one was phenomenal. Like hands down, I loved it. I've probably seen it a million times with my kids. Like,
Yeah,
it's great. And so, fun fact: Eric Voss from New Rockstars, his wife actually worked on I think the animation of this movie. Yeah, so that was I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely want to see it. I'm not sure if I'll make it to. Is it still in theaters right now?
I do believe it is. I don't know
It
how
is.
much longer it probably
Yeah.
will be though.
Unfortunately, I'll probably wait till it comes to streaming, but I am anxious to see it because the first one was done so well. You said you haven't seen the first one, Deontay?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the
Dude,
Inside Out.
I promise you, it's worth watching.
It's on
definitely worth
Disney Plus,
watching.
is it not?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus right now. The first one is.
Yeah. So when you get a second, take a gander.
Yeah,
Because
you'll
it's
enjoy
definitely
it.
worth it. Yeah.
Damn.
But speaking of movies that you decided to go see in theaters and ones you did not, let's talk about what you decided to see today. Trap.
Oh, Lord.
Yep, all three of us have seen it the past few days, and woo.
It's a trap. Don't go see it.
It's worse than the one Admiral Akbar scene. So,
Oh
Oh.
man,
oh
do
man,
not pay full price for this.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would
It's
say,
not in matinee, so that's not full price, right?
yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
$6 tickets.
yeah. That's about as much as it's worth.
Yeah.
I like Josh Hartnett and stuff, but man, the acting was just not on point in this movie. Like it was not convincing. Like I was watching a movie of something actually happening. It felt like the wife of him. It was awful acting. There were so many scenarios in this movie. I felt like that they didn't think through when they wrote this. I mean, like y'all were talking about earlier, how he got out of the limousine and changed, clothes. Where did the driver go? Because he propped up, had time to get out, prop up that helmet and stuff in there as well. But then, like, he couldn't bust in the bathroom door, but he seems like he's a pretty strong guy. I mean, he picked up that box above the
With all the
t-shirts.
t-shirts,
Yeah.
right? And then the guy, like the security guy, was like, "Oh wow, you're really strong." And
Yeah.
then, so when I knew that this was going to not be that great of a movie, it was when we were like halfway through the movie and we were still at the concert. I was like,
Hey.
"Okay, well, here we
Right.
go." But yeah, like I remember walking to the car and looking at my husband AD and being like, so this entire time they're talking about how buff and how strong this man is. You can see him like fling things open and he uses his brute strength all the time. But then he's trying to like knock on this door to get this lady raven to come out.
Yeah. An interior door of a home.
Yeah, like it opens to you like in the bathroom, so it's not like it's like against the door frame.
Right.
It's very much an open to you door. This is how much that I've looked into this, is that like you know how to pick a lock on a bathroom door because I've done it.
Yeah.
And you know that like bathroom doors aren't usually like industrial doors. This one must have been made of steel. I don't know because he could not open this door.
But he was shaking the walls. He was bouncing the picture off the wall and hitting it so hard.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I was waiting on his Here Johnny moment, like he was swing an axe through the door and scare the shit out of her, but he never did it.
Dude, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was just like, this is wild. This door has been closed for so long. She's able to text her friend, not actually call the cops, to give them all of this information.
Mm-hmm. Go live.
Go live.
Talk to Spencer on the camera.
And be like, the girl that just messaged me, where is this lion that is ruined on half of its face? It's broken. Where's the broken lion? Like, oh, you have no other broken lions
in all of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna pretend that we believe that, but you think that the cops don't know because they know where all of his safe houses are, correct? Like, because that's what you said at the beginning of this whole like interaction. You said the cops knew where all of his safe houses were, so you knew, and you knew that you needed to pretend to be his mom, which was super weird, and that lasted way too long. And I just have so much to say about this movie, and none of it's really that great.
Well, like me and Deontay was talking too, was like how, when they finally arrested him at the end, he went to straighten the bike up to pull out that spoke. They would have never allowed him to touch the bike or to move off track from them, taking him to the truck. Let alone, they also wouldn't have let his daughter run up and hug him. Like, no, because like Deontay said, he could have, did a hostage situation or anything. Like, they wouldn't have allowed him to do anything but go straight to that truck.
It's How many times have you seen like an armored truck, like montage of like a super villain in the back of like a armored truck? Who's also always in the back of the truck? An armored guard.
Minimum two usually.
Yeah. Well, nobody was there.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that my favorite part of the movie was the after credit scene.
Oh man,
the after credit scene cracked me up when he's sitting on the couch and did you see the after credit scene?
I don't think I did. I think I just left.
So it shows it shows the guy, the t-shirt guy, sitting on his
I did see this. Okay,
and they're like sailing news. What was his name on there? Cooper. Yeah, they're like, this is the man. And his face just drops. And he's like, Oh, I am
I
not
ain't
talking to nobody
nobody.
else at work. I helped him.
Yeah.
That cracked my shit up.
That
But
was so funny. They had a lot of comedic moments in this movie too.
yeah,
Yeah.
fun
I
fact:
like
M. Night
that
Shyamalan
scene.
was in it, and his
Yes.
daughter was the pop singer Lady Raven. So one of his daughters.
I'm
But
sorry. She's got a weird face. Like, I couldn't get past that at all. I was just like, why is your face so tiny? It's just, and then the eyes are so big. She's got anime eyes, but tiny face. It was,
she can sing though. She can sing. I will give her
yeah.
that.
Talented
Yeah.
artist.
Unlike his daughter, who we saw sing at the beginning of the movie for way too also long because she could not sing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember that part, but yeah.
We did show up a little bit late. Like when we were showing up, like Cooper and his daughter were just like making it to like the concert venue, so we might have missed that.
We missed, I think, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, first 3 to 5 minutes of the show movie.
So as soon as the opening credits or whatever ends, it immediately goes to Cooper driving her to the concert and then playing this song on the radio, but you don't see any of that. You just hear her singing at first, and then it pans out so you can see the two of them in the car, and she is still singing, and I'm like,
yep, maybe it's a good thing we did come in slightly late.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
We missed the cringiest moment. It's like
I did like the scene where like he was talking to his wife and she was like kind of like telling him about like how she like told the cops or whatever she found out, but like the scene like right before that where he was sitting at that dinner table and he was like very serious and very dark and she literally looked scared, like that was good acting. That part right there, that was like the only part that was actually part of the movie. I did like the end credit scene. Now that you reminded me of what it was, I was like, oh yeah, I do remember that because we did crack up laughing at that.
What cringe moments were you guys saying?
Yeah, she took some of his own drugs and put it in that lemon cake or lemon pie or whatever. He ate that shit and he was fucked up, but he was still able to walk and talk and withstand several taser guns to the body.
Yeah. But he can't break down a door.
At some point, somebody would have gotten shot. Like, no, you don't face off with a serial killer with just a bunch of tasers. And
not with what 12 body count. And like like after that first taser, he kept walking to the other guy. Let's be real. That's when they would have pulled out a gun and boom, boom, boom.
He tackled the shit out of one of the cops.
And they just stood there and watched.
He's just like, oh, let's tase him again.
They tased him like 7 times. I was like, what the fuck is this?
This movie would have ended a whole lot quicker if it was a black dude.
That is literally what we thought in the car when we were driving away. We were like, only because he was white did this. Not that I'm making this about race, but he got tased 7 times.
With a 12 body count. I mean, serial killer.
And
protein. I feel like serial killers, you don't even break out the tasers. You just break out the gun. Like,
real. They were already in the house.
Shot him in the leg. He was so close. Just shoot him in the leg, and then he comes down.
I really thought that he was going to like slit the t-shirt guy's throat there in the back, though, with that knife. I was like, he, he thought about it.
There was hardly any violence in this movie. This is a PG-13 movie about a serial killer, and this dude kills. He burns somebody. That's the furthest he goes.
Oh, that was super dark.
Yeah, that oil. Oh, yeah.
With the canola oil and the deep fryer. Yeah. Oh my god.
What the fuck? That's the only violence in this entire movie.
Not great. But things that were great, we can talk about House of Dragon.
Yeah. I've been waiting. This is what I've been waiting for the whole entire show.
So, Blake, you recently just finished Game of Thrones, and then
most seasons. Oh yeah. So Game of Thrones, I have never watched until November of last year, and I watched all eight seasons.
Yep,
All
unfortunately.
8 seasons in like 2.5 weeks. Uh, which, mind you, I was laid up from surgery and stuff, so I had nothing else to do. But then like after I finished it, I watched the first episode of House of the Dragon. And I couldn't get into it, and so then literally last week, I think, yeah, last week I watched all first and second season. I finally get past that first episode, and then I was hooked. I don't know
Yeah.
why I struggled with that first episode, but I did. But after I got through it, I was hooked, and I watched both seasons in like 4 days, 4 or 5 days.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
oh my god, so good, so good. But the way it ended, season two,
It was just a preview. It was just a preview of what is to come, which
I would
I
have been fine
wanted
if we would have got
blood.
halfway. I would have been fine if we would have even gotten halfway into the war, just halfway. That please. But to think, I literally did not expect us to get zero war, zero. Oh, I literally, if I didn't love my electronics so much, I would have thrown a brick through my TV when it ended.
Oof.
I was that
Man.
mad. I was furious.
Yeah,
But
there's
we
a
did
lot
get
of
to
people.
see
Oh,
really cool scene with Helena and the tree and Damien, where he gets to see the future and he gets to see that like Rhaenyra
Mhm.
um, on the throne as an adult now, because like every single time he's seen it before with all these visions that he's been seeing, she's been a kid. But now we finally get to see her as an adult on the throne, and he's just like, "I've been a bitch. Like I shouldn't have done this." But you also get to see the 3-eyed raven, and then you finally get to see that it's Helena that is the weird kid. So AD and I were talking after it ended, and we were like, "Why didn't we notice this before? It's always the weird kid.
always.
It's always the weird kid that's just
Mm.
like, I know more than you." But like to hear her stand up to Aemond,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
uh,
Prince Regent.
I was so happy too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I
she's
hate
like,
Aemon. Ooh, I
I'm
hate
not
Aemon.
burning anybody for you because like I know what you did, and he's just like, that is treason. She's like, I saw it, and he's like, oh shit.
He's
Like,
like, I can have you killed for this. Do it,
yeah.
bitch. I'm standing right by the ledge
It's
right
still
now.
gonna happen. Go ahead, kill me. Like I am up on the tower. Go ahead and
Mm.
push me over. It's still gonna happen.
It won't change the fact that you're a bitch.
when
Yeah.
when Aemon shot his dragon fire at Aegon, I was like, yes, that's one down. And then
Uh-huh.
he survived. I'm like, well, shit. Like I can't stand Aegon either. But then I'm like,
Hey,
all right, we gotta get rid of Aemon now. But I know he's not gonna go down that easy. So
yeah, if I had to choose between or who my king would be between Aemon and Aegon, I'm going back to Aegon all the
oh
way.
For
He's
yeah.
sure.
he was a damn good king for a character. So Aemon, like being power hungry and burning his own brother to get the throne, it's like
Mhm.
I couldn't wait till his ass got killed. But he got Vagar. He got fucking Vagar. So good
I
luck.
hate both of them as king. Hate both of them. But at least Aegon could be easily manipulated.
Yeah, that's true. Now he's running away like a little
Yeah.
bitch.
Oh, and can you imagine, like, when she flies in expecting to take his head off and he's gone? You guarantee you she's gonna think that Alicent probably did that on purpose, even though
Hmm.
she didn't have nothing to do with it, thinking that she wouldn't hit him so she wouldn't take his head off. That's gonna create I bet she's gonna end up killing Alicent. I bet.
She
I
probably
But
will.
so fun fact,
I low key hope so. Like I want her
yeah.
dead.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do too. I don't even like Alicent, but I do like that actress. I mean, I immediately want to start watching and recognize what she's off of. She's the girl off Bates Motel. She was Norman Bates's best friend that had the oxygen on all the time.
That was her.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
hmm But she's she's a great actress. I hate her character, but it goes to show how good she's acting it. So
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't care what anybody says about Matt Smith. He plays great every time you see him. So Daemon Targaryen is like that douchebag that you don't know if you can trust him or not. And this was the episode where he finally got an answer. And it
hmm
took a few too many episodes, but he bent the knee for Rhaenyra and gave her an entire army of River Run So
Yeah, I still don't like Matt Smith, dude. I hate Damon. Oh my god, I hate Damon. And like I
I
didn't like
love Matt Smith as an
I did
actor. Like
I
I
don't.
love him.
Ace
he's a good
is
Doctor Who.
That yes,
okay.
Mhm.
yes,
I've
and The
not seen him
Crown.
play Doctor Who, but I didn't like him in Morbius. I don't like him in this. Like I'm not saying he's a bad actor. He can act. I just can't stand his face. And then the characters he plays, I just can't. I just don't like the characters I've seen him play in Morbius in here. Like I hate Damon. Oh, I know, like it's important to have this character or whatever. But God, I hate him. I just wish he'd die or get right. Like get off the freaking fence and you self-centered piece of shit. Ugh.
And Matt Smith has a thing for playing like really cocky characters. I don't know what it is about him, but
Mhm.
he's just like so much attitude in his performance. It's like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. The first time I ever did see him act was on Doctor Who, and then I got to see The Crown. I eventually did see Morbius. Wasn't a fan of Morbius.
That freaking dance. I mean, like, anyways. I'm not trying to get on the I'm not trying to get on Morbius subject.
But I think he's a great actor. Like
He's a good actor. I give him
like especially with like him playing this role, like you learn to hate him and like and then now he's bent the knee because he's realized that he was in the wrong. Just like Allison was like kind of trying to, but trying to take like the bitch way out.
Yeah.
But if he
which-
stays this way, I will probably like him next season. But I promise you right now, this motherfucker ain't gonna stay acting this way. He don't know how to keep act right in him. He don't. He just don't.
No, he's probably gonna die, but that's okay. Like,
I'm okay with that.
you know, this was
At
the
some
end
point.
of like season 2. We do have season 3 hopefully coming at the end of 2025, but possibly 2026. They did release that season 4 is going to be the end of
Okay.
House of Dragon. So we only have like 2 more seasons left of this show. I just hope that they do it right and they don't fuck it up like they did with Game of Thrones in that last season.
Please, because let me tell you, when you watch that much Game of Thrones in a small setting, and you're just each season, you just keep getting pumped up and more excited, and then season 8 comes in like that, and it's done. Man, I don't even want to talk about the emotions and hatred and anger that I had because I'm like, that is not where I want any of these characters to go or happen to
They
them.
said all of this time that winter is coming, and then winter came and went like that.
Yeah.
Like, White Walker gone.
Bodied every single one of them in one season. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, this took a lot of build up in the books. Like,
And
I
then
collected
Bran
all
ends
of
up
George
king.
R. R. Martin's. Yeah. I collected
God.
all of his
You're
books.
still salty.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Deontay. I apologize. My mixed emotions are surfacing again of this, and like,
It's forcing a reaction out of you real time.
But we did get to hear Damon say winter is coming in High Valyrian in this episode, which I was like, he said the thing.
He did. We saw a White Walker too in his vision.
Yeah. And we
got,
with her dragons. You just got to see her naked back, but like at the same time, you knew who that was.
Oh yeah, especially when the 3 dragons peeked around.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it's Mama. And then
and she dies too.
she definitely dies. Spoiler alert for all. But yeah, House of Dragons is even more loosely based on the books than Game of Thrones was, and they're doing a damn good job. I don't know what the hell happened at the end of Game of Thrones, but
well, didn't they make that last season before that chapter or that part of the book got written or something like that? Didn't they kind of like wing that season before it was even written?
Yeah,
they did so much stuff without George R. R. Martin's blessing, and that's where everything went sideways. There's nothing I can say in defense of this season finale of House of Dragons season 2. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a build up, but
I feel like it was a big filler episode. And what's crazy is like you tend to get filler episodes in the middle. And I feel like the only main filler episode was the season finale, which I was like, shocked when it kept going on. I'd hurry up and pause it to see how much time is left, and then for some reason, of all things, like I even got more falsely like thinking something else was going to happen besides just initially because I paused it and it said 15 minutes left, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I push play. It ended in 2 minutes. For some reason, the credits on the season finale goes 13 freaking minutes long, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, oh,
Yeah, they ate our time up big time with the director's commentary at the end, which I
mm-hmm.
always watch the commentary at the end of every episode because they always have some like beautiful insight on what they did with the each and every single episode.
uh,
But I don't know what I can say in defense of that because it's like you could have given us extra episodes instead of ending the season on that.
And usually the filler episode is like the one right before the finale, because then the finale, like something big happens, and then you're like, all right, where are they going from here? But here, it was like it's a buildup of the war. The war is coming. The war is coming. The war is still coming, and
Yeah.
the war is still coming. Like everybody's like now marching, and now we're just waiting.
and we got,
Yeah.
like you said, I mean, at least another year and a half, 2 years before the war gets here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But today, or not today, but before the finale aired, right before the finale had aired, they had released, as in HBO has released the fact that Game of Thrones is getting a spinoff. It's called A Night of Seven Kingdoms, if I believe.
Night of Seven Kingdoms.
Night of Seven Kingdoms. Okay. And so this is going to be we don't really know how long it is, but they did say that the first season is coming. It's going to premiere next year. It's going to be following Sir Duncan. Not really sure about it because I haven't read literally any of the books.
House of Dragon takes place 200 years before Game of Thrones, and Night of the Seven Kingdoms is going to take place 100 years before Game of Thrones. So that kind of tells us where that time frame it's going to be into. So I like that. I like that it's going to be in between what we've seen. And I mean, I'd be fine if they go even further back of House of the Dragon or whatever. I'll watch whatever they put out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I love that we're going to get more connectivity. Like we're filling in that timeline because so part of me, like watching House of the Dragon, like I kept wanting to kind of connect more from Game of Thrones. I'm like, stop. You're literally 200 years before this. You're not going to see a baby of someone that was an adult in Game of Thrones. So just give it up. But I love that we're filling in this timeline. I hope that eventually we get a complete filled in timeline. No matter how many series they bring us out, I think that would be cool because I want to see a series with the Mad King. Like I want to see that.
Yeah,
that would be pretty dope.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of House of the Dragon, let's throw up some of our favorite memes that we've came across the internet since this season finale. So let's see. The first one is here we go. like we're talking about. Surely there's some more episode in the back. That is not the end. But that's probably the first one I came across, and I'm like, that is so true. That meme is exactly probably what everybody's thought was going on when those credits started rolling. Let's see what the next one is. We have this one right here. If I send you this, just know I heard your little conversation.
That's funny.
I sent that one to AD as soon as the episode ended because I was just like, this one is my favorite one.
That is so funny.
Yeah, we will forever, like that picture of that guy listening through the door, like of them out in the yard, will forever live rent free in my head.
Man, he's from Southeast Missouri.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the dragon chooses its rider. Dragons choose. How does it choose? Rhaenyra hiding behind the stone wall. Oh, but yeah. By the way, it's just see if you get set on fire or not.
Good luck.
Well, after that first guy, I was like, oh man, that's pretty brutal to find out, you know. And then so she brings this big group, and I'm like, all right, there's going to be a way they don't do this again.
10 times worse.
I'm like,
you remember the Red Wedding?
This is true, but still, I mean, Rhaenyra seems to show a little bit more, you know, care for the people, and like you make this big thing for all of these bastards and these, you know, half breeds to come in, you know, and you want to, they think they're going to be a part of something special, and boom, melted, but 2 of y'all. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, I felt so bad for them. It's just, but it's
yeah,
also a whole moment of badassery when you see the dude that you know is going to get Vermithor, and he
uh-huh.
finally claims him, and it's like,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
got the
yeah.
second
So
largest dragon in the universe, and
the dude with the long blonde hair and the big beard, I'm
yeah,
anxious to see what he does. I got a feeling it's gonna be something epic. I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know what it is, and like I was really hoping. I got one more meme, but now we're getting on the subject. Like was really hoping we see something him do something epic this season, but I think we're going to next season. But I was
yeah,
really
he will.
hoping that the bar guy, the guy that was always in the pubs drinking, I was hoping this guy would have acted differently. Like I'm really not liking the route he's going and taking this because it
Mm.
makes me feel nervous that he's going to end up doing something bad.
I
Really
really
shiesty.
hoped that he was going to be the first one to go up to the dragon and burn.
I,
That's what
I
I
thought he
wanted.
I thought he was actually. I really did. And I would have kind of laughed about it because I felt like he's been lying about being half Targaryen. Uh
Hmm.
be, and he still may have been. But well, actually I guess he probably hasn't because he
He's
got
he's Viserys' bastard brother.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But they make you think that he might have been lying about it there for like a short second.
Yeah,
But
while he was in the bar.
yeah, but I guess not. And then here's
his
the last.
daddy got
Yeah.
some explaining to do.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
he's got
Bela,
Silver Wing,
it's
and
not befitting of a prince to pout, Jace. I'm not pouting also, Jace. Dude, that kid was pouting so hard.
he
He
was
really
so
was.
salty. He was so salty.
Dude, well,
I
I
think
actually love his character. Oh, it broke my heart when his hang on, calm down.
okay.
I see that look on your face. No, so like I loved his character, like who he was becoming, evolving into. And then out of nowhere he started being a whiny little bitch. And I'm like, dude, don't. Like you have to put you're now the heir, like after your mother. Like you are obviously not full-blooded Targaryen. So that's kind of cool. You're different. You got brown hair or whatever. Like you could be leading these people, but then he starts getting whiny about these other dragon riders. And also, I'm like, dude, like you could have been such a cool character. Or maybe he still will be. He'll get out of that. But I'm like, I was really
Yeah,
loving who his character could become and evolve into. And then he started being that guy.
yeah.
But man, it broke my heart when the younger brother got just snapped by Edmund, Aidman or whatever. But oh my god, I was like, it's Game of Thrones, but oh
Yeah.
man, I hated that. I hated that. My heart broke.
Yeah, his mom really grieved all throughout the season. Like that shit hurt her. Like, and
Yes.
it's totally understandable. Like, you lost the son in the most tragic way possible, and
Mm.
his dragon too. So this is like, she spent the entire season just like angry, frustrated,
Oh
sad,
yeah.
depressed, and it's like, God,
Oh my god,
she,
when they couldn't find Edmund to bring him back to her, and they're like, "Oh well, kid for a kid," and they're like, and they decapitated that child. I'm like, "Oh, oh
Lord have
my
mercy.
god!" And then the mother had to point out which one was the boy. Like, whew, which you could
He
tell
was
that
like,
just tore her apart. I mean, that's where she really dipped down. But could you?
yeah.
Oh my god,
I wonder
yeah,
if now knowing that she's the three-eyed raven, if like she knew that was gonna happen and she knew she
mm,
couldn't stop it.
it's possible. It's
She's a
possible.
very talented girl. I will say that. They got some of the best dragons introduced in this season too, so I'm looking forward to the dance next season. Vermithor versus Vagar, and
Yes.
oh, you guys are
Sea Smoke. Oh, I'm
Sea
here for
Smoke.
Smee Smoke and Corliss's half son. Oh man, I am
Yeah,
all about that. Like I was so excited when that dragon like chose him. I'm like, oh yeah, because like
yeah,
he's the
yeah.
one that wanted it so bad when the other son wants nothing to do with it, and
Mhm.
like that made my heart happy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna be probably one of the baddest dragon riders out there.
And
Him and that bearded blonde guy. I feel like them two are gonna do some awesome stuff on dragons next season.
yeah, Vermithor is a massive monster too, and it's just like to be the lucky son of a bitch that gets to fly on him is going to be wild. The other bastard guy, Ulf, that he chose Silverwing.
Mm.
Silverwing is going to be a show too. I think part of his cockiness comes from like seeing how Silverwing performs in over territory, and he's
Mhm.
just like, yeah, I can do some things with this dragon.
Oh, when it showed him like flying over King's Landing, and like I was like, oh, he done screwed up. He done screwed up.
Yeah.
I thought he was about to get shot down and killed. I did.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, but it didn't happen. So I was like, whew.
even worse, like Aemon and Vagar chased him back to the territory, and like Rhaenyra's like, "Bring it, bitch! I got,
Yeah.
Look
I
at
got
my
a whole.
dragons.
Come get some, come get some." Aemon's like,
The guy that
"Whoa."
plays Aidman, like I would say, like dude plays a great bad guy. Like
Mhm.
just the way he looks, and I love the whole scar with the patch. Obviously, that just makes him even more villainous. But the dude plays a hell of a villain role. I would give him
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
I
He
love the
played
way that he talks too.
Oh, that
he
guy would
plays the
be a
guy from
good.
Saltburn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the douchey nerd kid that yells at Barry Keegan.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Seeing him play as Aidman now, this guy would be a good Riddler for Matt Reeves' Batman. I
Okay.
know we haven't seen the Riddler side of him, but I think he's got the acting chops to do a Riddler side. But look wise and kind of that long, pointy chin, I think
Mhm.
visually he would look like a good Riddler, and I think he could play a good Riddler.
I can see it.
I could give him a chance.
Yeah.
When I look at him, the first thing that pops in my mind is this dude is our scarecrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
he,
He could be a scarecrow too, for
he's a
real.
damn good scarecrow. But
Yeah.
Riddler, I would go see that.
That'd be cool. Sorry. Random thought just popped in after
You're
talking about
completely
him.
fine.
That's a pretty badass looking, like, blue glass eye he's got in there, though.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'd rather see something like that than them trying to have like a semi imitation eyeball.
Dude.
So there was a couple of things that we got to see today. So one of them was the Alien Romulus 10 Days Away trailer. So the parts of the trailer you didn't really get to see anything new other than them saying like, "Hey, it is 10 days away," which will probably be the next thing that I'm going to go see in the movie theater. I'm excited to go see it. I love Alien, loved it
Yes.
like ever since I saw the first one. So
Oh yes,
I can't wait. So that's in 10 days.
we're definitely
How
ready
do
to go
you
see
say
that.
no to more xenomorphs?
For
It's
real.
super realistic and scary looking, and I love that.
And like when you watch an alien movie, the way that they catch bodies is so serious. It's just like, damn, man. Like even Predator goes easy on people every now and then, but if you're up against those aliens, like count on 99% of y'all getting wiped out.
Well, I've seen the marketing in New York's picking up pretty heavy for them. So there's people all over that are they're like taking pictures of people with face huggers. Like there's like a guy, taxi driver, and like they have the top light, the taxi light done up with theatrical advertising for Alien, but then
Okay.
the taxi driver is sitting back and is doing a face hugger on, and then the passenger that's in the back seat is halfway hanging out the window with a face hugger. So that was a picture. There's a guy laying down in the subway area with a face hugger on, and so like they're taking professional photos randomly throughout New York with people like they're being attacked, and they're using that for marketing, which I love when they do stuff like that and they get involved like in the public and they do random. I love that.
Now I'm gonna have to go look at these photos because I haven't seen these. I'm
Yeah.
excited
Yeah.
about
If I run
seeing
across the
that.
post, I'll share it and send it to y'all. But
Okay.
yeah,
I saw a TikTok on it this morning where a dude faked a seizure on the ground with the face hugger on it. It was like,
really.
damn, he's so in character too. I absolutely love people who are doing this.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my god. So something else that we got to see was the Welcome to Derry trailer. It was just like a
Uh,
little like 5 seconds,
mm,
but like it looks pretty intense.
Oh yeah.
It's called It Welcome to Derry. But like
nice.
I can't wait to see what they do with it. And I mean honestly right now it looks bloody. So I'm
It
happy
needs
about
to
that.
be intense and bloody. Like I don't expect it any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't I
Yeah.
Bill
don't see this
Skarsgård, is he
happening.
still in this?
I think it is.
Um,
I think it is his Pennywise.
yeah, I didn't he hasn't been in any trailers and I haven't really like dived deep into IMDb yet.
Mhm.
Um, but given the fact that it's it and it's like it.
Right.
like the becoming of the story. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't have him in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll be stupid if they don't.
it's the same producers from his movie, so it's
Hmm.
I think they'll
Okay.
use Billy Scars.
But that's coming to Max. It's going to be a total of 9 episodes at this point. And I think that's coming in 2025. So we're just a short ways away from it. Still no actual release date that I've seen, but looks good.
Nice. Heck yeah.
They're all going to float.
And then
Deontay,
we
you heard a little something about The Last of Us?
I sure have. And the teaser just dropped, I believe, like not even 48 hours ago for season 2. So you guys get prepared for that. They just finished production, I believe. And we are expecting a 2025 release date for it. So
but we don't have an exact month yet, I don't think.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it's still so new since they just literally.
I've been yearning for the second season. Like, I feel like it's been so long.
season 2 is going to be incredible. They stick so close to the video game, like the producers will get mad if anybody even suggests changing the source material references that they make. So
You did get to see a clicker, I think, in this trailer, so that was pretty neat because I've never seen the first one. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. So I don't know if you see them in the first season, but you definitely get to see one in this trailer. And I played part of the first video game, so the clickers make my heart beat a little bit faster, not in a good way.
I loved it. Like I actually didn't never play the game the first time I ever. So like I didn't have any like no source material to go off when the first season came out. But I loved it like hands down. Pedro Pascal did a phenomenal job. I can't think of the girl's name. The actress's name. She's from Game of Thrones.
She is. She's the kid that got burnt.
No, she was the young.
No, she wasn't the burnt. Yeah, she was the young queen.
She was a lord in the
queen.
north.
Or lord, yeah,
lord in the north. One of the North families.
But like everybody, all the cast in this does phenomenal. The storytelling, I loved it. And then after getting and watching it, it's like everybody that was a huge fan of the game was so happy with how it was done because they said it was like almost script from script. I mean, on the game and hardly zero complaints.
Did you know? Fun fact about The Last of Us as a TV series: majority of the characters are casted from voice acting to live action. So it's like the character that plays Marnie, I believe, or I think it's Marnie or Maria, whatever. Her voice actress is playing her in the show now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So they're going hard for this show.
Heck yeah. I can't wait. Like I said, I mean, the first season came out, what, was it 2.5 years ago?
I don't know.
I want to say right on the 2 year.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But yeah, definitely excited.
So the last thing that we actually got to see from Max is Dune Prophecy. We got to see a little bit of the clips in their Max coming from 2024 to 2025. So we do know that Dune Prophecy is coming this November. It's supposed to be 10,000 years before the ascension of Paul Atreides. So it looks pretty neat. I don't really know anything about that timeline. Haven't read the books. Only seen Dune Part 1 and Part 2. So I'm excited to see what they do with this.
Oh man, I love that franchise.
And that's supposed to come out.
I haven't read the books, but
next year.
No, this year.
Oh, this year. Okay.
What?
This year in November. Yeah.
And that gave, I mean, everybody waiting for Dune Part 3. All the Dune fans give them a little bit more of a filler in there to not have such a large gap for Dune material.
Yes, because we know that waiting 2 years sucks. So having that filler
No kidding.
is pretty great. So there's one more thing that I wanted to cover tonight, and that is Bungie news. So coming from the video game world of Bungie, They're the creators of the Halo series as well as Destiny 2, which is what I've been really talking about on this podcast. So, Destiny 2, it has come out with their weekly updates. So this week they started their their solstice 2024. Um, and it's going to go from today, because it just dropped today, so the 6th until the 27th, which is right when Act 3 of Echoes drops. So we're going to be able to get to see that really cool armor. I actually already played a couple of the bonfires, so really excited and happy about that. Excited that it's back and I get to gild my title, for those of you that knows what that means. But on some more not really great news, a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, Bungie actually did end up laying off 220 of their employers for their audio, and their I think their storylines, some from different departments. Dado did a really good video about like which parts they actually laid off, and reading a couple of articles. But what came out of this is that they're hemorrhaging money. So Destiny 3 has it has never been in production, and it's not going to be in production like for a very, very long time. They're trying to get back on their feet. Something that was in production though was Payback, which was supposed to be kind of like Destiny 2 characters in a first person or third person kind of effect. I wasn't really sure if it was supposed to be a first person shooter kind of thing, but it was supposed to be able to get people into the game without really knowing much of the backline and the storyline of Destiny 2, because Destiny 2 has been going on for years now. It's been going on for like 10 years. They officially canceled that because they don't have the money for it anymore. And they are no longer doing annual content. After Echoes finishes, we're supposed to have this Frontiers, and we're supposed to have more content coming, but it's kind of like all up in the air right now. So unfortunately, that's all I got for Destiny and Bungie news.
Goodness.
Yeah, Destiny 2 it's going to be the end of the era once they're finally done with that game too, because Bungie was a big part of a lot of gamers' childhood, and
yeah,
I quit at a very weird time, so I'm not sure what everybody's going through right now with Destiny 2 and the latest DLCs, but man, I remember the good old days back when Zavala, Ikora, and Cade were all running the tower, and
R.I.P. Lance Reddick, man.
Yeah. Rest in peace. All-star voice acting cast.
Also in John Wick.
Gameplay.
Yeah.
Ooh, he had a long history of just working, but
yeah. But I mean, like, this past DLC expansion has been beautiful. It's everything that you want it to be. It's just kind of scary not knowing what's ahead, what to look forward to, because that's something that Bungie has always been giving us, is like, hey, this is the next thing that you're going to look forward to. So keep playing, because this is what you got coming. But right now we don't know.
More microtransactions. Yay.
We actually don't know that either. Apparently it's supposed to be free to play. They're going to be turning it into a free to play game. I don't know. We're going to kind of just see how this goes.
Ooh, I'm not expecting a bright future from them.
Yeah, that's not very positive news this weekend, that is it? It's kind of awful, man. And like, I know a lot of people who like are in love with that. I mean, that play it, have been playing it for years. I mean, besides you and both of y'all, but it's pretty detrimental news.
Yeah, it's scary and disheartening. We did think that the final shape was going to be the end of Destiny anyway, but then they kind of were like, no, there's more coming, and we're like, oh,
get all amped up about it, and now
yeah.
How much further can you go? Because we already have a ton of lore in this game franchise anyway. So.
Right.
But it's been beautifully done.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, I think that's all we have for this week. Y'all have anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. We'll catch everybody on the next episode.